person who made a significant difference in my life was a man by the name of Bill Lund. Bill was a man that I got to know through his daughter, Annie. When I left home in high school and was looking for a place to stay and trying to figure out who I was, he stepped in and gave me a lot of guidance and a lot of help and assistance.
The person touched me the most was Irvin Garnett. He was my first football coach in high school, and he was so powerfully involved in my life that I, even today, still call him on the phone. My teammates elected me captain of the football team, and right after the election, with my teammates still sitting around in the locker room, he took me to his office and he said, "Look, you have a bad temper. It's known all over campus that you'll fight with the drop of a hat, and I want you to know that if you have a single fight, I will remove you as captain. I will not have a captain getting kicked out of a football game." I never had a fight to this day since Coach Garnett took me into the office.
It goes back to the Boys and Girls Club. There was a gentleman by the name of Johnny Enriquez. He was Hispanic and he was the director of the Boys and Girls Club, and actually got me involved in sports, and he bought my first pair of tennis shoes in order for me to play basketball. And that's something I would never forget in life, and we are friends to this day. He still works at the Boys and Girls Club, volunteer now, he's retired, and we had an ongoing relationship throughout my whole life, and it's just a guy that's made that impact at an early age, you know, just getting me involved in sports.
A mentor that's made a difference in my life would have to be my dad. He's been there every step of the way, you know, through my soccer career and also just as a loving father.
One of my coaches in high school, I went to a high school where I was only one of two black students, first two black students, and the coach just included me in all, you know, in all the activities, and it wasn't like I was different from the rest of the kids, although I did come from a different background. He was probably one that, you know, kept me on a path that you can achieve whatever you might want to.
Bob Palmer, from the Boys and Girls Club in particular, is one of the ones who really instilled in me the importance of making me feel like I am somebody.
Well, first and foremost, he kept telling me that he knew that I could make it. He wouldn't let me fail because he wouldn't allow me to start thinking negatively. He kept me propped up. He was always a guy that I could go to and ask questions and sit and talk to. He encouraged me by telling me the story of his life, which was one which he had overcome some hardship. And that led me to believe that if he could do it, I could do it. Secondly, he recognized what he thought were good traits in me, and he was very comfortable in telling me about the things that he saw that were good in me. He was always willing to listen to me. He wasn't judgmental. He would make suggestions on paths that I could take, but he wouldn't push me. And he was there to cheer me on, and he was also there to kind of kick me in the rear when I needed that kick.
He told me what I could do. He told me that I had unlimited power to accomplish things. He encouraged me to speak in front of the team. He told me that I was a natural leader, and I had to, in some cases, almost act as if I were an assistant coach. He gave me leadership training, and then when I failed to be the leader that he demanded, he let me know it. And the worst thing for me was to receive his disapproval.
He pushed you to the limit. He made sure you got your work done, and he just made you a better, better player. But at the same time, not knowing it at the time, it just makes you a better person. You get work ethic, and that's the biggest thing I believe I get out of football, even at this point, particularly at a young age, to create that work ethic that you have for the rest of your life. He always encouraged me to be yourself. You know, a lot of times kids get a lot of peer pressure of being someone else, and he just said, man, be yourself, have fun, enjoy life, and do what you want to do. But always keep your head on a straight path. And he's the type of guy, if you got in trouble, you had to see him. So didn't want to see him, so I didn't get in too much trouble when I was a kid.
My dad challenged me and lifted me up both on the soccer field and off by teaching me new things on the soccer field that correlate with just basic life skills.
Do your best. I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest, but I tried very hard. and that if you give your best effort, that's all that anybody can ask.
True story, 19th Street Boys and Girls Club in Gates. I never forget it. I'm lighting up just talking about it. I come through and you had to have your club card again before all the technology. You had your Boys and Girls Club card. I did not have my card. And the people at the desk were not going to let me in. And he walked by and he says, oh, let him in, he's a VIP. And I'm like, huh? And says, well, go ahead in. And I didn't know what a VIP was. And so I'm walking around the whole day just enjoying the Boys and Girls Club. And I saw him at the pop machine. And I said, Mr. Palmer. He said, yeah. I said, what's a VIP? He said, a very important person. I said, he said, that's who you are. You are very important to us. And that made me feel like I could conquer the world. It just mentored me through a Boys and Girls Club and through life.
Because of the influence of Bill Lund, I was able to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. He never let me think about being second best. He always pushed me to be the best. He expected the best from me. He had high expectations. He refused to allow me to accept lower expectations for myself. So it was one where he challenged me to achieve, rewarded me when I did, and kicked me in the rear when I didn't. He is in large part responsible for keeping me on the right path at a critical time in my life and allowing me to become the person that I am.
Because of Irvin Garnett, I think I have learned to lead and learn to take great responsibility and also learn to lose. Life does not consist of all victories. There are going to be times that even with the best advice, with the best and highest level of encouragement, we're not going to come out on top. And the great challenge to us when that happens is to be like a basketball. You hit the floor and you bounce up. And that analogy came directly from Coach Garnett.
I didn't have a male figure growing up in my household. I come from a single parent home, and he was that guy that I looked up to as a father figure. And it was a male role model that I knew if something, my mama said, you know, you need to take care of him. He's doing some bad things in school. He's not coming home. He's not doing his homework. I knew I had a man there that would chastise me if I was doing something bad. And it just, you know, I think as a kid I was a little fearful of adults anyway. So I made sure I do the right thing. So he was the guy that really kept me on the right path.
Because of my dad, I've been able to be a better person, a better man, and just all around, good guy.
When you might be down, because sometimes, as you're growing up and in high school, you're going through a lot of changes, and then particularly if you're in a different environment, it makes, I think, it even harder. It's hard enough as it is, but if you're in a different environment. And I think to really not feel different, try not to feel different from everyone else, to try to contribute and not be separate, but just be part of a whole, even if you are from a different background.
Because of all the mentors in my life, I've been able to become the successful pastor that I am today in terms of investing in people and creating an environment for people not to be afraid to fail and to discover that their gifts, the only way they can be harnessed or developed is that they try. And because of them, I guess I am the leader that I am today now. I mean, I could end up anywhere, but because people thought enough to invest in me and look beyond the exterior, I mean, just the fact that I am what I'm doing now, investing in others, speaks volumes.